On Hanukkah, we all love to eat the donuts, the sufganiyot, that have in them jelly and jam. The question is, can one take that sufganiya and heat it on the hot plate on Shabbat? Over here you have two questions. One question is, maybe it's asur because although the sufganiya was already cooked in deep fry, and therefore it's considered cooked, ve'en bishul achar bishul, so therefore shouldn't be asur, but there are poskim that call this a different kind of cooking, and this is called tzliya. It's like roasting, since you're not putting it again into the water or into oil, rather you're putting it on the hot plate. That could be that yesh tzliya achar bishul. This is how Or Letzion writes in Perek Lamed, to be oser, to forbid putting a challah on top of the hot plate in order that it should heat up on Shabbat, and sometimes it becomes crunchy. He said one should be careful with that. Same thing would apply over here if one makes it crunchy like that to that sufganiya. And therefore, he would say that one should not do it. Ben Ish Chai writes that it's asur to make the challah into such tznimim, which are the crunch on the challah, because it's makeh bepatish. Now, makeh bepatish is something that the Or Letzion and Chacham Ovadia agree that there isn't over here, because the halacha, most of the poskim hold, and makeh bepatish beochlim, as the biur halacha brings down in Shin Yud Chet. But the other question is a question that the Or Letzion says that it should be asur, and Chacham Ovadia allows that as well. That's why he allows to heat up the bread or the challah on the hot plate on Shabbat. So this would be one question for those that want to be machmir on that. But second question is much more problematic, and that is that jelly that they put inside, that jam, usually they dilute it with much water, and that water is not cooked. Although the jelly was cooked, but the water they add to it to make it more moist, to make it more liquidy, that is not cooked. And therefore, when a person puts it on a hot plate, he's cooking that water, and that's mamash davar ha'asur. One should be very careful with that. And although there is a svara that Chacham Ovadia brings down from Rabbeinu Yerucham in the Bet Yosef in Shun Yetchet, that something that's yavesh, you have majority of something that was cooked already, therefore such a thing that would be liquidy in it, which is minority, would not forbid us from cooking it. But all that he was matir, Chacham Ovadia, in the name of Rabbeinu Yerucham, is only something that was already cooked beforehand. Something that was never cooked, like that water, it's definitely davar asur. And even on that svara of Chacham Ovadia, many hold that Rabbeinu Yerucham is not la'alacha, or it's a ta'ut sofer, it's a mistake. Rather, Rabbeinu Yerucham never said it, because when they looked in the old svarim of Rabbeinu Yerucham, they didn't find such a thing. Only it's written like this in the Bet Yosef, could be it's a mistake. So therefore, comes the halacha over here, one definitely should be oser, even according to the svara of Chacham Ovadia, because that jello inside that became together, that came together with the water, became liquidy, that liquid, that water, is davar that's going to be mitbashel when you put it on the hot plate, and one should be very careful from doing that on Shabbat Kodesh.